For so many folks, it's because people don't really notice when there's pain around them. They just accept the things as they are. They don't really think that, hey, I can make a difference here and really make a change. High performance coach Sean Butner, and what we're going to be talking about today is the reasons why people get stuck, right? Why they stop progressing, why they don't, achieve their ambitions, their big dreams. They don't live into their purposes more. Because I've heard a lot of this question or this statement recently that, hey, I've lost my motivation. And when I follow up and why do you think that is? Because I'm a coach. It's just because they've accepted the status quo, right? And that looks like, hey, I feel drained, I feel tired, I feel unfocused because I've been working so much and I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time to sleep, I don't have time to, eat healthy, and so my energy is just completely trash, right? Or it's, there's a lot of this just busy work or toxic work environment stuff that prevents me from feeling like I'm living my best life, building towards a legacy, building my contribution, my connection, or maybe, there's people are just like, hey, I feel really comfortable in my job right now. We find out through talking, and there's no need or no drive to push for growth and to push for excellence in the future, right? And that's a trap, because if you're not working on excellence in your future, you're really setting yourself up when things change. If there's unexpected things like a pandemic, there's unexpected things like layoff, that can really, really throw you for a loop, where if you're at the top of your game, you're much more undeniable. And then maybe, when I've talked to folks, there's this theme of I'm just waiting until ... I'm delaying that, when the economy gets good, when inflation goes down, when I have this level of client, when I have this level of revenue in my business, when I have this level or this project complete, then, only then can I start my next thing. And, we can get accustomed to each of these excuses, and that's really what they are. and I know that sounds really pushy and really forward, but I know if you're watching a video like this, you're probably someone that, one, can take it, right? But two, you're probably someone that takes action. You're probably someone that has a certain level of success. So this type of language, usually, people are like, okay, got it, right? More importantly, when we get into how to diagnose this, they're like, okay, get it, let's get going, let's get into action. It's not like, hey, I feel personally assaulted. So, all right, here's my experience with not accepting the status quo. So when I worked at Apple, they were really great at, making sure that when you were working on a product, when you had a process on your team, when you're interacting with others, that the product came first, right? And that you need to notice where there's pain points. So if you launched an app and it took, 15 seconds instead of 10 seconds, you needed to log a bug, you needed to talk to people, you're like, hey, this isn't acceptable for user experience, for a loose example. Or what they were really good at is on the Apple campus, if you're walking between buildings and, they have sidewalks and paths and then grass, if they noticed that there was a path cut by where people were walking, they realized, oh, that's probably the most efficient route from point A to point B, and they would just pave a sidewalk over that. So, instead of fighting it and putting up a fence like maybe another organization would do, they leaned into okay, this is how it's organically coming up. Let's just listen to what feedback we're getting, which is that path in the grass or the slow time. But so many other companies, so many people just put up with and get accustomed to these inconveniences, these pain points, that it really sucks, right? There's a reason why there's a lot of really terrible software out there, a lot of terrible hardware. It's because people cut corners or say this is good enough and not, is this excellent? And so where in your life are you questioning, is this excellent for me? Is this excellent for my family, for the type of contribution and abundance I want in my life. So how can we recognize these pain points more like Apple? We need to notice our DAFD list. And I say DAFD because I'm not sure exactly how to say that acronym. It's DAFD. And what that is, it's our dread, avoid, fear, and daydream list, right? So let me walk you through a quick exercise, right? So we're going to ask 4 questions and then do one step to kind of tie it all in to help make sure that, you know, when you're feeling like you've lost your momentum or that you're accepting things or that you're not progressing, right? It's usually one of these things that are sapping your motivation, that are keeping you from moving forward, okay? So here is question number 1. What do you dread doing every day? And you know, take your journal out and just write down the things that you dread. We're not going to do anything other than like when you notice you have that feeling, and that could be like, oh man, like I hate getting up, getting out of bed, and going into a cold shower, right? Because you decided to do the Wim Hof stuff and you're crazy. I don't know. You know, do you dread like the commute? Do you dread having to talk to that one person on the team? Do you dread having to drop your kid off at school because they'll have a tantrum? Like, what are the points in your day, each day, and yesterday, 2 days ago, where you felt a sense of dread going into that situation, going into that meeting again, or whatnot? And that's, so just write that down, right? We'll get to what to do here in a second, right? Second question is to think about and write down what are the things that you know you need to do that you're avoiding. This is such a powerful question. And if you're not asking yourself this question regularly, you probably have blind spots that you're not even aware of, right? And this is a good place where a coach can help you figure out, hey, what am I avoiding? You know, what do I say I'm going to do and then you don't follow through? These are good things to just kind of notice. Again, write that down on your list. The third question to ask yourself is, what are you most afraid of each day? Like, instead of dread, like, what do you actively, like, I don't feel safe around this person. I do not want to drive on this road. I don't want to go to this part of town. Some quick examples off the top of my head. I don't want to have this conversation with someone because I'm afraid of what they're going to say. Like, where are those people or situations that you're afraid of encountering during the day? And then question number 4, what do you daydream that you could be doing more of each day? Like, if you're like, if I could just work on my business, on my marketing for an extra 2 hours each day, I would be so much happier. I'd be moving towards that sense of independence and abundance and freedom that I know is out there for me. Is it, I wish I played more guitar, or I wish I had more time to read, I wish I had ... Whatever that is for you, make sure you write that down in your journal also, right? So this gets us to the 5th point, right? Review your answers and rate them on, does this get me closer or further away from my success, my growth, my ambitions, my connection to other people, the world, and my goals, and progress that I want in my life? Because chances are, I would imagine for most of these, it is preventing you from moving closer to your success, growth, abundance, connection, and progress that you want in your life. And once we know that, you know, sometimes that's when you need a coach. And I just want to let you know real quick, below where you're in the blog, wherever you're watching this video, there's a link to sign up for a free 30-minute coaching session with me where, you know, I come to me if you're like, hey, I'm really avoiding this. I don't know how to face it. I don't know how to, you know, find that momentum in my life. You know, we could do 30 minutes on something very pointed for you. That goes on my YouTube channel. That's how that works. So for 30 minutes of coaching, we put it on YouTube so it can help everyone because a lot of people face the same things. But more importantly, you get that targeted coaching feedback with the high performance process that everyone absolutely loves to help you move forward in that. And to figure out exactly what you need to do if you don't know what to do with that list. But more importantly, so check it out at the link below. Getting back to reviewing your answers. The follow-up question to each of those points, does it get me further or closer to my ambitions, goals, and success, abundance, connection, and progress, is what's my action item to change this so that I follow through, right? And it could be I am avoiding or I'm afraid of this tough conversation. Maybe it's you schedule it and you bring a buddy. Maybe if you're like, oh, I wish I had, one more hour to play guitar. Maybe it's okay, the next action is to put it on the calendar again, or the next action is I need to delegate something on my schedule every day to where I can do this thing that fills up my heart, my soul, and my passion. So with this list, with those follow-up questions, you can usually find a way to really get back into your progress again. So it's really always super important to dig into why your motivation has left. Like I said, in my experience coaching people, it's in one of these. You either dread it, you're avoiding it, you're afraid of it, or there's something else you'd rather be doing. And so, fill out your DAFD list. Not like Daffy Duck, because I don't want Disney coming after me, but DAFD list. Do that analysis and create an action plan for yourself. And if you need, again, help with your action plan, check out the free 30-minute YouTube coaching session, which is below here. Just click on that. So with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. A little side note for what's going on, like I'm shifting the newsletter to have Motivation Monday videos like this coming at you. There's also on the newsletter, if you're not a part of that, you can go below wherever you're watching this video, probably on YouTube, to the blog, and get weekly emails sent to you with a personal note from me and a blog like this to help you start the week amazing. Find out what's going new on the podcast, the Meaningful Revolution podcast, where we help you design your life that's ideal so that you can live into it and not the life that someone else has designed for you. I'm really excited about all that. Had some really great guests on, so if you're sick of me talking, definitely check that out. There's some really smart, amazing people we've had on already, talking about all sorts of topics on things that people are passionate about. So I think if we talk about things that people are passionate about, that'll be contagious, on top of really seeing people that have designed their life, are living in it, and all the great things that come with that. So that said, go to the blog, sign up for those weekly emails if you're interested. If you already are on that list, thank you. I'm so grateful for the community that we've had there. Hope you enjoy these videos still. And, go back and take a look at a couple of the other videos that we've done. Like, go back to last week, where we talk about designing your life, because I think that's a really good complement for this video. And real quick, if you wanted to see that Design Your Life video, it's over here. So just click on it and continue watching.